In this video, we'll be looking at the custom CSS function from the reports package. And what this allows you to do is, often if you're using RStudio, which I do, you may want to alter the CSS, the style CSS for the output from an HTML file. So typically if you knit HTML, this is a RMD file, and we're going to knit HTML, and this is running knitr. You'll get something that looks like this. It's kind of ordinary and plain and dull. And what the custom CSS function allows you to do is to specify a style CSS to use, and it allows you to change the aesthetics of how the HTML will be displayed. So the way you run it is, so actually first look at the arguments. There's really two arguments, lock and style CSS. And the first one by default assumes that you have a main directory, as I do in this foo, and that was created from new report from the reports package. And it assumes the custom CSS you want to run is for something located in the report folder. So you have foo, and then inside the report, that's just the default, and you can specify any path you want. And the second argument is optional, style CSS, and you can say, hey, here's a path to a style CSS that I use, and custom CSS will include that as the style CSS. Otherwise, the style CSS that is created is a blank one, and you have to add to it. Okay? Let's go ahead and do that. All you have to do is run custom underscore CSS, and we're not going to supply a path because it's already in the correct location we want. And it tells us here, hey, if you want to make changes, you need to go into style and style CSS and make those changes. Let's look at what it actually created. It created two things. It created this over here, this CSS folder with the style CSS in it. You can see that it's blank. And it also created this style.r. And this is style.r is very important. To get it to work, you have to click this text and then go ahead and click save, and it just sourced that file. Okay? And we're going to add something to our style CSS. This is something I use that adds a text box like look around text. And then we'll go into our RMD file, and we'll say div class equals funds hello world close div, and then we'll go ahead and run that. This time it will actually run that custom CSS for us, the style CSS for us. And we can see here that class that we created in our style CSS was included in the output, and it created a text box type around this hello world. And this can be used to change all sorts of aesthetics, and it can be very handy. This has been a tutorial on how to use the custom CSS function from the reports package.